Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Esther Day celebration. I'm Wayne Earl, famous for being married to Lori Earl. Esther is our daughter, and we're so grateful that you're here. We're so honored that you take the time to celebrate Esther Day with us, celebration of love. It's a joyful occasion to be here with you. We're glad that you are here.
So, Esther Day is a wonderful holiday. I always say it's the best holiday in the world, especially of the whole year, because it is a day that doesn't have all the trappings of, some holidays. So it's a day where we can just appreciate each other. That's a day of love. It's the best holiday of love because it doesn't come with some of the complications that Valentine's Day comes with, right? And most of you probably know how Esther Day started, but just in case, let me just quickly rehearse. When Esther was getting close to her 16th birthday, John and Hank Green, who she had gotten to know and become friends with, said to her, Esther, in perpetuity, as long as we are making YouTube channels, YouTube videos, we want to celebrate your birthday as a holiday. And what would you like it to be about? And you can imagine you're 15 years old and someone says, you can have any holiday you want. What do you want us to celebrate? And Esther took some time to think about it. She took some days and she came back and she said, I want it to be a holiday about saying I love you, not in a romantic way, but to friends and family and the people that matter the most to you. And she knew how to do that and why to pick that, because she was, she had a time limit on her life, and she knew how serious things were. And she knew that what mattered the most was the love and the care of the people that mean the most to you. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of the beginning of Esther Day. It's become a holiday that's celebrated all around America. It's celebrated in other countries. I remember in the early years how exciting it was when Sesame Street and MTV hashtagged Esther Day. So it's a holiday that just means a lot to us, of course, because it reminds us of our daughter's heart and of her sensitivity to the things that really, really matter in life. Mm-hmm. So Esther picked this holiday, and we are so glad that you are here with us to celebrate it. Thank you. It is such an honor that you are joining us on this day. We have 3 wonderful guests with us tonight. So this is a party.
We do have some guests.
We're not in person.
They're not here in the dining room, but
they're not here in person, but you're going to get to see them from wherever you are watching, at whatever time of day you are watching or night.
Right.
And this is being recorded, so we will be able to share it with you afterwards so that you can share it with friends and family. So we have 3 wonderful guests to help us celebrate Esther Day. So let me tell you who is going to be on dock tonight. There's Sarah Urist Green, and she is known, of course, for her art assignment. We have Jessie Knudsen Castaneda, and we have John Green. So,
and you.
And me, and you. Yeah. And if you have a question for a guest tonight, you can put it into the Q&A. If you want to talk with each other, you can do the chat. We have some moderators on both of those sites. If you have a question for John and you're going to want to ask it in his session, which is Question Tuesday on Wednesday. What could be better than Question Tuesday on Wednesday?
Question Tuesday on Wednesday.
Then keep those in mind so that you can be sure to add those into the Q&A towards the end. So we are extremely excited to welcome our very first special guest tonight, Sarah Urist Green. Mm-hmm. Sarah is a wonderful artist and an art critic, best known for her work in the art assignment and her book, You Are an Artist, Assignments to Spark Creation. She believes strongly that art is for everybody, and accordingly will be making art with all of us tonight. Some of you might have downloaded your coloring page. It was on some of the different social media sites. and came in one of your emails. So please join us in welcoming Sarah.
Sarah.
Hey, hi everybody, and happy Esther Day. I appreciate the love in the chat. This is my supporting castmate here during this session. He's not going to speak. He's only going to, no, I'm just kidding. Please speak, John. Say hello.
I'm going to ask all the questions.
Yes.
So I'll be asking the questions that you're asking right now in the Q&A section of the Q&A, which right now
That's
the
right.
only question is, where's Hank?
Where's Hank?
And the answer is that he's with his son. So he has a good excuse for not being here. And he wishes he was here, but he made
He's
a lovely
here in spirit.
and made a lovely Esther Day video today.
Yes.
Yes.
So we are here in the Green home office, the Green family home office.
Yeah.
And I have my official the star won't go out coloring book with me. I was a little worried. This is the same one that I used last year for this event, and I was a little worried I wouldn't be able to find it, but it surfaced, and I was glad about that. And last year, Alice and I, our daughter, colored this page together, the Happy Esther Day, and Alice added this wonderful portrait over here. I'm not sure if it's a self-portrait or what it is, but it's great. And it's a good reminder that when you're coloring in a coloring book, you can follow the lines, or you can go on the other side and do whatever you wish. So I think this year, I know you were sent some sheets and you can choose whatever you like, but I was thinking, I like this quote page. I like the text pages because there's lots of fun colors to do. And this one is a quote from Esther: "If you haven't done something amazing, don't forget to try," which I like. It's really about the try.
Yeah.
And, in art and in life, it's about the try. Something that I definitely appreciate. I see a lot of art in my work. I make art on my own, and can often be a lot to think about. And you can get a little decision paralysis sometimes when you're making art, but with a coloring book, it's all there for you. You got the guides, and you can just go and color. Are you going to color with me, Joe?
Sure.
Okay. So
yeah, I mean, I have to also ask the Q&A questions, but right. I can do both.
So Lori introduced me. I think most of you guys know me either as the Yeti, my early nerd fighter persona, when I didn't want to appear in the videos. But then I started my own YouTube series, The Art Assignment, which I did for like 7 years. We have gone on indefinite hiatus. I'm not saying we're never coming back, but I am still The Art Assignment on social media.
We love an indefinite hiatus.
Well, I like to keep my options open. I wanted.
Well, the problem is if you do like my last ever YouTube video, you get a lot of views, but then you inevitably make one more YouTube video.
Right. And
like,
I'm actually brewing an art assignment video.
I know.
That I'm going to put out this fall. That's just like what I've been up to. And what I've been up to is quite a few different things. I used to kind of focus all my energy on the art assignment, but now I'm attempting to spread it a little more widely, my attention, that is. And so I'm producing the YouTube channel Ars Poetica, which is also part of the Complexly family of channels, but it's made in partnership with the Poetry Foundation. And if you don't know about Ars Poetica, you should really check it out. Each video, we ask a poet or a person we admire to share a poem that either they wrote or that they like. And you see the text of the poem and you hear them read it and they introduce it briefly, but it's a really lovely kind of meditative way to start your day, I think. And they come out twice a week. So definitely check it out. And I'm also, oh, John, you're doing some contrasting, some complementary colors here. He's doing red and green.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad you're here coloring because I have trouble coloring and talking.
Well, you color and I'll ask you some questions.
Okay, great.
But yes, to finish off what you were saying.
Yes, so I'm I'm producing, see, I told you I can't color and talk at the same time. I'm producing Ars Poetica, and I'm also working on curating some actual real life shows.
Yeah.
I'm working on an art fair called Butter that's going to be going on Labor Day weekend here in Indianapolis.
Great art fair here in Indianapolis.
I'm also starting to think more about public art in our city. And what the city could use, and also sort of researching more about this place, this physical place where I live. I think, when you live on the internet, it's easy to sort of exist in a location, but not really invest. Woo, bless you.
I'm okay.
Not really sort of engage locally, but I'm ready, I think, to stick my toes back in the water of the real world.
Let me ask you draw, and I'll ask questions.
Okay.
You're so much better at staying inside the lines than I am. What is your favorite piece of artwork that you saw at the Louvre? We were just in Paris and we went to the Louvre. We spent 5 hours in the Louvre, which is, I think, the longest that a human being can spend in the Louvre.
No.
Well, you just your brain starts to break. But it was really, but did you have a favorite?
I actually really enjoyed the Greek and Roman sculpture this time.
Yeah.
And I also, so I think that, because I really
Don't stop drawing.
I framed my visit to the Greek and Roman sculpture galleries thinking about them being painted as they almost all were originally.
Right.
And it was a really fun way to view it, to sort of imagine what it might look like that way. So what was yours?
Kay is wearing the Sneetsa John t-shirt, so me sneezing is perfect. I don't know if you know this, Sarah, but it's an ongoing joke in Nerdfighteria that sneezing is not normal.
I know.
Sarah knows because every single time I sneeze, I whisper to myself, sneezing isn't normal, I never sneeze.
It's not annoying or anything.
It's not annoying at all. And I can't stop doing it. I also like the Greek and Roman sculpture. There was, because things
But you made a video about your favorite painting.
Changed at the Louvre, there was more queer Greek and Roman sculpture, which was really cool to see. And just sort of more emphasis on inclusivity and the fact that none of this is new. None of these identities are new, which I thought was great.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing about art?
My favorite thing about art is that you can learn about life from someone else's perspective. You can step into their shoes, see things the way they see them.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite thing.
Do we have any Esther Day traditions in our family?
Well,
we do this, but we also do say,
we do, yeah.
We tell the kids that it's Esther Day and say I love you to them, which is not that unusual for them, hopefully.
Well, actually, our kids are great about telling each other they love each other, which
they are really good. I hope that
would have never done as a kid, but I hope
they hold on to that.
Yeah.
It gets harder when you get to be a teenager. I thought Hank's video today about why it's hard was really good.
Yeah.
What do you have a favorite? Okay, I have a few questions here.
Okay.
What do you think is the value of aesthetic commentary and criticism? Asks Spencer. It's a big question.
Well, I think that I think that it's good to have a perspective and to know what people think and how people respond to artwork.
Yeah.
And so I do think it's important, and also because sometimes an artist their intent is one thing, but it's received in a different way. And I also think artwork's meaning is subjective, and it also changes over time.
Oh yeah.
So the way that we look at any artwork, Roman sculpture to a Jeff Koons puppy made out of flowers, is going to be different depending on the moment that you're experiencing it in, or thinking about it, or looking at it, or considering it. So that's why I think it's important.
How do you say I love you to people you may have had a strained relationship with in the past?
Oh,
It's not easy.
The honest answer is like, send them a text.
That's not good.
Be like, hey,
It's Esther.
thinking about you.
Oh yeah, you just like on Esther Day, you just text somebody, hey, it's Esther Day, so I'm compelled to say I love you.
Yeah.
That's not the way.
No,
You got to call.
No, not us. You, but you've never been a caller.
That's true. I did send a couple I love you texts today instead of calls.
Do you guys think that that's cheating to communicate over text?
So it's probably not cheating to young people, but I think it's cheating to us.
I mean, well, I don't know. As someone who doesn't love to talk on the phone, I find a phone call almost an affront sometimes,
Really?
Not from family. But if I'm getting a phone call, I'm kind of like, oh God, like
if it's the bank.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what, is something wrong?
But if it's like a friend of yours, if you're like calling a friend and saying I love you, I think that's not bad.
Yeah, I know it's not bad.
But that's the thing.
Honestly,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing that Esther really understood.
Right.
Is that you've kind of got to overcome that.
It's a challenge.
Initial challenge.
Yeah.
Have you experimented with any of the AI art programs like Midjourney or Dolly?
I have not.
Oh my God, they're so incredible.
Should I?
They're like bad.
What do you mean?
They're fascinating.
Why are they bad?
Because like they're gonna take over from us and destroy us.
How?
Did you see the Terminator?
Oh, well, I don't know. Okay, so should I?
Yes. Okay. Oh my God, they're incredible.
Okay.
They're incredible.
Yeah.
You give them prompts and it's incredible.
Okay, I'll try it. Sounds a little overwhelming. But I'm open to it.
Randa has a question from 9-year-old Joey.
Yes.
What do I do when I think my art is bad, even when I tried my best? That's a question. That's an ongoing question, Joey, not just when you're 9.
Yeah, that doesn't go away, which doesn't make it any easier or better. But I think understanding that the process of art, like your enjoyment in doing it, is just as important as the remainder. Like John and I have been working on this. I wouldn't say it looks great, but
your part looks really good, actually.
I mean, it's basic, John.
It's basic.
I did basic, and you did this cool thing over here.
Yeah.
So like, I think, whether or not it looks great, I will remember this time that we worked on together and that we did it during Esther Day, and I'll think about that. So I think, and also remember that each artwork is a new artwork, and your opinion of it, you're probably your own worst critic, and that the other people around you, your friends and family, like it because they like you and they like seeing you express yourself.
Yeah, but the other thing I'd say is that something I say to my kids all the time is the way that you get better at something is by doing it. By practicing, by learning. And so when you do your best and you're still not happy with it, I think that's almost a good sign, Joey, not to like,
right,
because it means that you still have learning to do, which is kind of exciting, even though I know it's frustrating in the moment.
Yes.
Any
other questions?
A couple more real quick.
Or are we almost out of time?
We're almost out of time.
Okay.
Have you ever experimented with coloring, painting with pigmented spices or foods?
Ooh.
Like pomegranate juice or turmeric?
I will say that yes, I have. I have made some sort of prints using tea, which was really fun and cool. And I also love it the way when you cut a strawberry and you like you put it on a paper towel or something, it leaves that print. And in some of the art cooking videos that I made for the art assignment, some of it was sort of in that vein. So yeah. What's the best part of living in Indianapolis? Asks Ethan. I mean, I think we have a great airport.
Best airport in the world.
I like the people here. And there's the Indianapolis 500. I'm not a big race fan, but I will say that after living here for over a decade, I'm into it. I love that it's like this thing we have here and everybody gets excited for it.
Largest
Am I missing anything?
non-religious.
Oh, the main thing is that I feel like when you work in sort of the cultural sector here, people appreciate it. Whereas if you do work in, say, New York City, everyone's like, oh yeah, that's cool, whatever.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you can make a big difference.
Yeah.
In a smaller city.
Yes.
So that's really lovely.
Yeah.
All right, let's turn it back.
Is it time?
I think it is.
Okay.
It's 8:21.
Okay.
Is there any other question you want to answer? How do you know when a piece of art is finished?
Well, one artist that I interviewed said, when it looks cool, you're done. So, I mean, usually I think that sometimes and then when you know, and when you don't know, step away from it for a while, come back a day or longer later. And if it feels resolved with a little bit of distance, I think you can say that you're done, or you can ask people's opinions, but take it with a grain of salt. So, yeah. All right. It was great to color with all of you. This is as far as I got. I'm going to keep coloring while I enjoy the rest of everything, and happy Esther Day. And thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. I'm torn between wanting you to be my mom, except I think my mom is listening from Virginia, and Mom, and wanting you to be my big sister, or my little sister. So you just I love the things you say. And I did see that MB wrote on the chat there, the Funky Bones is you forgot to mention from
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's another great thing about
Wayne and I
Indianapolis.
took pictures at Funky Bones, and it was one of our favorite
That's
things
right.
there to go.
Oh,
that's
so great to
That's
hear.
because it's also your book, John. So
Found ourselves.
Thank you. That's cool to hear.
that is amazing. Oh,
Love your advice.
So the amazing thing about Esther Day and Esther is that when she had the option, right, to say, when she had the option to pick what she wanted Esther Day to be about, she didn't pick something for herself, right? And so often when we are, birthdays are about you. They're about me. If it's your birthday, it's about you. But she was really,
right?
but she was about it being a gift. So when Esther picked saying, I love you to other people and letting them know how much you care about them because they matter to you, that was a gift to other people. So it like kind of turns birthdays on its head.
Yeah, it's like John and Hank said, very, very sneaky Esther, it would have been a lot easier to eat a bunch of CDs, right? But I wanted to say this though about love languages. Esther's language, there's this whole thing about love languages, I used to think mine was affirmation and touching. Lori loves touching.
Not.
Deeds, doing good things. I think they're onto something with that. But I realized that for me, it's time. If I give time to someone, I'm really saying to them, I care for you. You are important enough for me to give you my time. And when they give me their time, it's a huge gift. And Esther was like that. She would just give her your time from the time she was little through her illness, and really, really taught us a lot about just being present.
So today is a birthday. Esther would be 28 today, but we're really just celebrating Esther Day as a day that
I remember the birth too.
Well, I do too.
Just a snap.
I do too. But so
I remember it was a humid day, August 3rd.
Esther Day is a day
1994.
to give a gift. What are we missing? What do you have to have on a birthday? Anyone? What do you have to have on a birthday? Cake. Yes. So we have a very small cake here.
That's right.
With of course a star candle. And you have to have a cake. You need balloons too, but we don't have balloons
We
today.
forgot the balloons.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
my.
when you have a cake and you light the candle, what do?
You eat the candle?
No, you don't eat the candle. You make a wish,
Are we
right?
lighting the candle?
So we're gonna light this candle.
Okay. There we go.
Oh, that's a cool picture, isn't it? Reflecting off. So when you light a candle, you're supposed to blow it out and make a wish. What I want you to do, though, all of you who are here with us today celebrating Esther Day, is I want you not so much to make a wish for yourself, but I want you to think about somebody. So in keeping with Esther Day, somebody that you want to say I love you to, somebody that you feel that maybe you can give a gift to, just like Esther gave a gift to us by giving us this holiday.
The gift of time, the gift of writing.
Is there somebody that you
Gift of
could
touch.
call? Is there somebody that you could send a note to? Is there someone that you could bring? Somebody says, oh no, the tears are coming. And you know, this way you're honoring this concept, right? This idea of making yourself a gift to others. So we're gonna get ready and we're gonna blow out this candle together. But I want you to just take a few minutes before we do that, a few seconds, and think about what commitment can you make to someone else? What?
Wish upon a
This is serious.
Oh, serious.
Yeah,
Okay.
serious. Well, you can be funny too. All right, are you ready to blow
That's
out the
serious.
candle?
That's serious.
Are you ready to blow out the candle?
I'm
with me?
ready to do it.
Okay, ready? All right, it worked. And then you get to eat the cake usually. So, but we won't eat it in front of you because that wouldn't be very nice. But so as we move on, we're gonna come back to this idea again about the gift at the end. But right now we're going to introduce our next guest. And our next guest is
so cool.
Jessie Knudsen Castaneda. And I think I got pretty close, Jessie, from Animal Wonders, Montana. She works with animals. She obviously loves animals. We love animals.
Esther loved animals.
Yeah, we still have Esther's cat, Pancake.
We rescued cats. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, all of our girls did that.
They all did.
They all did that. And
Pancake's running around here.
Pancake is probably sleeping because Pancake is not very young anymore. But in addition to being the host of SciShow Kids, Jessie rescues all sorts of exotic animals and cares for them at Animal Wonders, Montana. Additionally, she loves to talk about all the amazing animals she works with, what she'll be doing tonight. If you've ever seen her YouTube channel or watched her on Project for Awesome live stream, you know that we are in for a real treat. Please join us in welcoming Jessie from Animal Wonders, Montana.
All right.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. You had me, now I'm taking over. I'm very emotional and in a really good way. Feeling a lot of love today. But thank you so much for having me join and help celebrate Esther Day. And I colored along. I didn't have time to print off the coloring sheet, but I did make my own. I colored, and it felt very good to celebrate that way. So thank you, Sarah, for leading us in that and giving the space and time for us to, be present and celebrate Esther. I would like to have some fun and share some of our amazing animals with you. I am Jessie, and good job pronouncing my name. That was really good. Jessie Knudsen Castaneda. I had to practice Castaneda. That's my married name because it didn't roll off my tongue. I am from Montana and grew up in a very small rural town, and so pronouncing things that I'm not accustomed to pronouncing takes practice. But I would like to share an animal with you. I'm standing right next to one of our newest rescues. And if you don't know what Animal Wonders does, we take in basically all the, I don't like to call them this, but kind of the best way to describe it is like the discarded or unwanted animals that have lost their home for some reason or another. Sometimes they're injured and they can't live in the wild where they belong, or they were a person's pet and they just don't want them or can't care for them anymore. And so we take in all of the unwanted and we want them. We want them, we love them, we give them a home, and then we want to share those animals with others. When I was growing up here, I'm gonna grab this animal so I can tell a story while you're looking at a cute animal. Hey girlie, her name is Tally, and she just joined us a couple days ago, and she's a very big lizard, and she's very sweet. She has been well loved for several years until the person who cared for her could no longer do it anymore. But she did come in with a lot of issues, health issues, and we're gonna address a bunch of them. She has an owie on her back. We're gonna try and get that taken care of with the vet, and hopefully get her nice and comfortable. When I was young, I had this just overwhelming need to make, I know it sounds silly and a lot of people say it, but it was my overwhelming need to make the world a better place. I wanted to bring joy and happiness and love, and how can I do that in my small little way? And I met my husband Augusto, and together we created Animal Wonders. We were both very passionate about animals and caring and sharing our passion with others. And so Animal Wonders was born, and it's our small little way of making the world a better place. And Tally is going to hopefully love living here. She's been hanging out it's been 102 degrees a couple days ago. She's been loving this weather. We got her outside enjoying the sunshine. She wants to go down. If you notice, she was walking off of me a second ago. So I'm going to go ahead and let her down. And what I would like to do is actually take the camera off my face and just share some animals face to face. You can give you the opportunity to get face to face with some of these animals. And I have some little fun toys and treats for them as well. So I'm going to set Tally down. Hey, little girl, you walk around. And I'm going to take you guys off of the camera and turn my camera around. There she is. Boy, she looks so much smaller when you can't really tell when I'm not holding her, but she's a big girl. All right. So Tally's going to be walking around, hanging out, and if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. I'm going to have, I think Michelle or Lori is going to tell me the questions as we go in and hang out with one of the animals. I did see a question.
Yeah, there are. They're coming in fast.
Okay.
There was a question about what kind of lizard is Tally?
Tally is an Argentine black and white tegu. So they are very similar to monitor lizards, but monitors come from like Australia and Africa and Europe. And tegus are found in South and Central America and Mexico. And she is about 9 years old, is what I was told. And they can, with good care, they can live, 20, even up to 30 years. But most of these guys are not cared for properly. And they usually live 10 to 12 years if they get that old. They just aren't given big enough spaces. They aren't given big enough or, hot enough heat. And they aren't given the proper food. She really likes being pet right here. She kind of gets into it sometimes. She lifts her tail up.
Aw. Somebody else asked, do those types of lizards actually taste the air by sticking their tongue out like that?
They do. And she's kind of put herself into a corner here, which is fine. She likes resting, and I don't know, she's just relaxed right now. It's time for her bedtime. But yeah, she does. And she tastes the air. And it's not really tasting the air. it is smelling. It's just in a very different way than what we do. So they actually have their smell organ is in the roof of their mouth. And so the delivery of the scents, instead of, breathing it into your nose, which is how we get the scents, the smells to our scent organ. Oh my gosh. She gets the smells to her scent organ by sticking her tongue out, sticking all the particles to her tongue, and then rubbing it on her Jacobson's organ, which is on the roof of her mouth. And so it is still smelling, and it is kind of like tasting the air, but it really is just the lizard's way of smelling.
Okay. I just want to say somebody had a comment that you've been a huge part of our science literacy. Thank you so much for your sparkling presence in SciShow Kids. So
thank you. That was that was an amazing opportunity. SciShow Kids has been a wonderful part of my life for the last couple of years, and I'm just so glad that Hank, I don't know who all was involved with the concept, but I was working with Hank and Caitlin, and they had this idea of doing the Science Kids channel, and I'm like, yes, I would love to be part of that, and I'm very, very grateful to play my small part in SciShow Kids, and so I'm glad that the videos have been helpful for the kids. I've really enjoyed watching them and sharing them with my kids as well.
So let's see, 9-year-old Joey got back in and asked, how much bigger is Tally than my leopard gecko?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Tally's like, about 4 feet long.
Okay. Oh, Jesse, you muted. Jesse? Oh, there you go.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, good. Sorry, a phone call came in, even though I was on Do Not Disturb. So your leopard gecko is about the size of her leg. That's about the average size, so very much smaller than Tally.
We are wondering how other animals are, like Atlas and Kemosabe, how other animals are doing.
Oh, they are doing wonderful. So Kemosabe, I'll bring you up to him. He's actually sleeping right now. We're not going to disturb him. Oh, you can't even see it because there's a glare. You can see his thigh right there. But I'm not going to wake him up today. He's been woken up the last couple of days. We are going to visit this little sweetheart right here. This is Mimi, and she is a black tufted marmoset. And we're just gonna go right on in with her. But I have some fun little toys for her to play with. I actually have 2 little things that I'd like to kind of have you enjoy with me. This is a cute little tub of what looks like just oatmeal, but inside it is actually some little worms, some little mealworms. So she is going to have to dig through that and find the mealworms. And then this one is kind of a tricky one that I hope she really enjoys. We've got a regular tomato cut in half. And then inside this tomato, I hollowed out the inside and I put peanut butter and honey on the inside. Tomatoes are not Mimi's favorite. And so I'm hoping that she is pleasantly surprised by the tomato surprise. I guess that's what I'm going to call it. There's Mimi right there. She's very excited about this. All right, let's see if I can open the door, hold this, and hold the phone all at the same time. That's always the trick. All right. Hi, Mimi. Wait, we're going to go inside and eat this. What do you think? Here, what if I put it down there? What do you think? Did something make you nervous? Oh, the lizard made her nervous. She wants to jump up here. Okay. All right, so Mimi doesn't want to be down low. Let's go ahead and bring it up. So she wants that. There she goes. Well, she took a tomato. All right, well, she's gonna munch on that tomato. I don't think she can smell the peanut butter on the inside, which is kind of neat. I do need to take a hiatus and bring the camera down to show you what is happening to my foot right now. Oh, he just let go. All right, he was attached. This is Quincho. He's a 3-banded armadillo, and he was literally just attached to my foot. And I was trying to walk with an armadillo on my foot. And he got very excited about my shoes, and now they are no longer fun for him. So, all right, Quincho, that was fun. I'm gonna bring back up Mimi. Is that a delicious tomato? Do you want to try this one too? I always like watching Mimi eat because she looks cute, right? But also a little scary, like a gremlin, a little bit, but like cute. I don't know, it goes back and forth. But when she eats, you can see her teeth, and that is terrifying. All right, let's see which one she grabs now.
We got just time for a couple more questions here. Layla asked, what are the best resources for knowing what is the best way to take care of your pets?
That's a great question here. Let's see if she'll take this from me. Want to give it a try? The best resource, that one's really hard. There's so much, sometimes there can be so much conflicting information. So it depends on which animal. I mean, your vet is going to be an amazing resource, but you can also try some really reputable, YouTubers. There are some really good YouTubers that can help out with your pets, but you do have to be careful. You have to make sure that, they are up with the best knowledge. That's such a broad question. Cats and dogs, they're a completely different group than bunnies or a lizard. But if you want to, I'm always up for trying to share more information. And so if you're up for sending me an email and telling me what kind of pet, I can always, point you in the right direction for experts in their field. Oh, little Mimi. All right, I want to share one more animal. She's going to have fun digging through. Are you going to find it? I love her little fingers. I would like to share one last animal with you. It's kind of a surprise animal. We have not debuted her. We've kind of taken a little hiatus on not an indefinite hiatus, but a little hiatus on our YouTube channel while a lot of things were going on at Animal Wonders. And I would like to have you guys be one of the first ones to meet one of our newest animals. This is, and I'm going to go ahead and go on in with him. This is Atlas. And I'm going to grab some toys that I grabbed outside for him. And he left me a big old poop. I cleaned them, of course, so he'd be nice and pretty for this. And he left a nice old poop right there. Thank you, Atlas. Atlas is a gray fox. And he is a baby gray fox. He is about almost 4 months old. And we are really hoping that he is going to be very best friends with Serafina, our red fox. Atlas, come on over here. Say hello to everyone. What do you think? Oh, play with that toy. All right. So Atlas, he's a gray fox. We got him from a place that was, they had a really hard time. They're an animal facility that did wildlife photography with them, and COVID really hurt them, and they were trying to find new funding for their animals to keep being able to take care of the animals that they had and had for decades. And so they decided to breed some of their animals and try and sell them to make some money to take care of the animals. And they had a litter of gray foxes born, and they couldn't find a home for this last one here. And we were looking for a companion for Serafina. Hi, come here, you little rascal. Hi. And we were happy to take him in. So right now he's still too small to go in with Serafina, our red fox. She views him as food right now, so that wouldn't be a very good introduction. But he is getting big, and he's hopefully going to be the perfect little buddy for Serafina, who's staring at us right now. Can you see her? She's like, excuse me, I need the attention, two peoples. So on either side of the door, I am so ready for these two to be friends. Yes, friends, not food. Oh, all right. Am I out of time? Did I go over time? I'm notorious for going over time.
You are perfect. You are perfect. We are going to turn it back over to Lori then. But thank you so much for showing us the adorable animals.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you,
Aw.
everyone.
I like the armadillo, Jesse.
Yes, he's very cute.
Armadillo
That's
pillow.
so great. Thank you for introducing. What is your little
Right.
fox's name?
His name is Atlas.
Yeah.
Atlas. Oh.
Atlas.
Will he carry the world on his shoulders?
I'm hoping so.
Thank you
That
so
is
much.
so cool. So
Yeah, so we were scrolling through some of the names of the couple hundred people that are here today
and all the
participating in
questions about
this
animals.
party and looking at some of the some of the
Exotic-
questions people are
exotic
asking, and that was pretty amazing. I saw that the other Green brother is on, David Green, who lives right in Boston. So and then it's just great to see all of you guys here. And if some of you are joining us late, we're here celebrating Esther Day by remembering that Esther gave us the example of giving a gift for your birthday
Mhm.
instead of this idea of taking, and using her day as a day to say, I love you to the people in your life that matter the most. And so what we're actually going to do is something that we did during the Esther Day party that we had in person in 2012.
2012, 10 years ago.
2012.
It was a good group.
It was
about 100 people there,
amazing. We had
about
about
100
100 people
there.
here in the Boston area in Quincy,
It was
celebrating.
incredible.
It was
Yeah,
hot. I
yeah.
remember it was hot, but it was an amazing night. And what we did then is what we're going to do right now.
It won't take
We've-
that much time. but
No, we're not going to take as much time as we did then. That's true. But we're going to give you about 3 minutes. We've talked about what Esther Day is. We've talked about thinking of somebody that you could do an action for that would be meaningful, that you could say I love you to. And so we're going to give you 3 minutes right now to call someone or send them a text or send them an email. If you're just really chicken or you're in the wrong time zone and you just can't pick up the phone and
Or
call someone, then you could make a list of the people that you are going to call this week. So we're going to actually take a pause. I'm going to set my timer for 3 minutes, and I want,
Hey,
I would
you-
love to find out that you have called someone, and then when you come back on in 3 minutes, you can post about it in the chat and tell us what happened, and we'll be reading along with you. So
It's not
Do you
that
wanna-
long. It's not that long.
yeah, 3 minutes. Do you want to show, were you sharing a picture? Your
No, I'm
coloring
just
art?
saying you could even, continue to do this and send this to someone. There's lots of expressions of love.
There
You may not want to I wouldn't want to get on the phone and call somebody.
Okay, but you're going to do it now.
Well,
We're going to give you the opportunity. Some of you do like to talk, and so take this time. Timer starting. You have 3 minutes.
and will you sing in the background? while
No,
they're
but we're just going to sit here and wait for them.
Okay.
You have 1 more minute.
Well, that was, if you were me, that
Oh,
was,
it's not quite 3 minutes.
that's,
He's rushing me.
no, it's
You can finish
awkward.
your phone call.
It's awkward. It's random. You know, I told you I loved you when we got married. It says on Fiddler on the Roof.
All right, so it
If I
has been
change my
3
mind,
minutes
I'll let you
now.
know.
And if you did, I texted my mom. That was cheating. I said, I love you. And she wrote me back and said, I love you too. So it's a great concept. Take action on it. There's probably somebody that's hard for you to say, I love you to, and you didn't do it yet. And so, you know, use this as an impetus to make that step.
And there's no time, right?
There's
Like,
no time
there's
like,
no time.
like the
like-
present,
Yeah, well, like a present.
like a present.
Like a present, yes.
All right, so we can introduce our final guest tonight.
Final guest.
All right.
Who is the final guest? Mystery guest.
So
Who could it be?
don't forget to be awesome. People are saying, I know my best friend's in another place. So we'll take a look at some of those interesting comments as we go on. But our final guest is someone that is known to all of you, I think. His name is John Green. He's wearing a green shirt because he's
I wanted to
green.
be on brand, Lori.
Yeah, that's good. Did you? I saw a really cool drawing somebody had done of
we
the
got
Green
our Esther
brothers.
shirts. We ordered them, but they were supposed to be
They were
here.
supposed to arrive. We paid extra so they'd get here this morning and they didn't come.
They'll be extra special tomorrow.
So I feel like that's my fault indirectly, so I apologize. I also ordered a shirt that didn't come. if I'm
Oh,
looking at
slowed
it.
it
okay. Well,
down.
it wasn't your.
The supply chain, it was your
Yeah,
order.
supply chain issues.
So in
It's
case-
easier to
in case
say when it's
anybody
not your
doesn't
company.
know,
It's not DFW Gates problem.
in
It's-
case anybody doesn't know, John Green is an author, a YouTuber, a podcaster, an
He's written-
entrepreneur, known for Vlog Brothers and Crash Course, The Fault in Our Stars, Turtles All the Way Down, which maybe he'll give us an update about, The Anthropocene Reviewed, and most recently, The Awesome Coffee Club, which we love to
some
hear
good
about.
stuff.
He was
Thank
a dear
you.
friend. A dear
It's
friend
great
of
to
ours.
it's great to see you, Wayne and Lori. It's great to see everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for celebrating Esther Day with us. It means the world to me, and I know it does to Wayne and Lori too. And they probably won't say this, so I will. Go support This Star Won't Go Out and their amazing work at tswgo.org. It's a great organization that just does such important work. So we're celebrating Esther Day today, and I'm really happy to do it, but This Star Won't Go Out does important work all year round. So please go support them.
Thank you. And we are so honored that you are here. We've gotten to share a few memories along the way with you guys. And it is just, you are a gift. And
Well, yeah, can I just say,
yeah.
something, John, before you start? So
Yeah.
I met John, when I first met John, for folks who don't know, I met him at the door. He came to Esther's
Make-A-Wish.
Make-A-Wish. And I said, you're John Green. Okay. She said a lot of good things about you. I said, you know who you're like? I said, you're like Doctor Who. Kind of dropping in saying, hey, you want to go on an adventure? You know, it's up to you. There's no pressure, but the world is open. Love you to participate. And you invited Esther on an adventure. And it has been the greatest adventure. And you really blessed her life. And
Thanks, Wayne.
I said, just bring her back safely. That's all I asked.
And we did.
And we did.
Well, she has also blessed our lives and so many others. So really, really grateful to have had that time together. but also grateful for this. Grateful to be able to celebrate Esther Day for the 12th, 13th year.
Yeah,
Amazing.
that's right.
Amazing.
13.
It's wonderful.
So welcome to Question
Question
Tuesday
Tuesday.
on Wednesday.
All right, we'll get started here. Before we get, as Sarah's collecting questions, I just want to say a few things. First off, huge thanks to Jesse from Animal Wonders, who's so amazing. Also thanks to Michelle, who is really running this show and does so much work for The Star Won't Go Out. Is just an amazing person and is running the show in difficult circumstances tonight. So thank you, Michelle, and to our mods. It's probably the easiest moderation job that Untapped Inkwell has ever had since she, you've likely seen the username Untapped Inkwell in like Vlogbrothers live streams and stuff. And this, of course, is like just the loveliest group of people you could ever ask for. And but really, really grateful to Max and Untapped Inkwell for just being awesome, awesome moderators and great people to work with. And also very grateful to Sarah for being with us, and always to Wayne and Lori, who light the way. They really do, and help us to understand Esther's legacy and carry it forward. So
well, are you ready for a question?
yeah.
Okay.
Can we show off our artwork, or are you not done yet?
Well, I'm not done.
I know,
We're-
but I
we're
think
not done,
I think
but
we've done a
made some
nice job. I
progress.
think we've made
Yeah.
some real progress.
We're doing some multicolor multicolor rainbow explosion, which I like.
Yeah,
I think
could
we've
be
done
a
well.
P for A perk if
Yeah.
you hang around till February.
Let's start with this one. Do you have any advice for a teenager that's feeling a little alone at the moment?
Oh, well, I mean, you know, I mean, I guess I'd say a couple things. Like, you're in a uniquely difficult moment in the sense that you've lived through this really difficult, deeply isolating, massive historical shift over the last 2.5 years that's pretty much without precedent in any of our remembered lifetimes. And so you can't know that because you're 16, so you don't know anything else about what it's like to be a teenager. But
It's hard normally.
and that's the other thing I was going to say, is that in good circumstances where there aren't these like massive societal historical pressures on you, it's difficult. So it's hard. It's really hard. The two things I would say as advice are, number one, it's cliche to say this, but it's true. It gets better. You will get through it. I was just talking today. So there were, one of the Project for Awesome perks from 2019 was having a coffee with me. And then those all got canceled because of COVID. And so we just rescheduled them as virtual coffees. And I was talking to a young man who's 30 now. And, you know, he was talking about how he's been watching Vlogbrothers for over a decade. And so really feels like he grew up with us. And I said that I really do feel this almost like paternal pride at, you know, getting to see these young people grow up and grow into themselves and become the people they're going to be. You can't glimpse that now because you're inside of this, you know, you're inside of adolescence, but you will get through it. You will come out on the other side, and you'll be proud of yourself, and we'll all be proud of you too. And then the other thing that I would say is it's really hard to reach out. Especially to like other teenagers. I remember how stressful that was. But do if you can.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to go to the other end of the spectrum
Sure.
here. Ideal grilled cheese.
I happen to be married to like the best sandwich artist in the world. Sarah was an actual sandwich artist at Subway.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody who ever was a sandwich artist at Subway took on the lessons of sandwich art as deeply and profoundly as Sarah did. So my favorite grilled cheese is whatever grilled cheese Sarah wants to make. It's going to be stupidly good.
I've been thinking about a variation of the grilled cheese that I think I want to make soon, which is basically a BLT, but no, drop the L. and
Just a
add the C.
BCT, BTC,
Yeah,
Bitcoin.
because with some really good tomatoes
Yeah,
that are
like garden
nice.
tomatoes. We
Yeah,
got some garden
yeah,
tomatoes.
yeah. So okay, so that's going to be your favorite.
That's my favorite. And he's like,
Yeah.
we often joke that Sarah should just open up a sandwich restaurant that just serves whatever sandwich Sarah's in the mood to make that day, and that it would be a huge success.
However, I don't want to do it.
Right, there is that. We watched The Bear, so we know that owning a restaurant sucks.
John, will the Awesome Coffee Club ever have decaf if it gets big enough?
Yeah, it will have decaf, and hopefully pretty soon by the end of the year.
Great.
It's been hard. Everything Hank
Yes,
and I
the
do,
bear
we
is
think
so
it's gonna
good.
it's gonna be so easy.
Grilled PB&J.
Mm.
Oh,
I'm interested.
Okay, sorry.
Everything, like every time Hank and I are like, this is a great way to fund the PIH project, it turns out to be way more complicated than we thought it was going to be. But we're feeling good about where we are with coffee, so we feel like we can add decaf now.
Okay, John and
Yeah.
Sarah, what is your morning coffee ritual like?
Well, so for many years, we would get coffee at a coffee shop or else like make drip coffee. But when we moved into this house, we got a machine called Helga. I don't know if that's her Christian name, but that's the name that we call her by. She requires a lot of attention and maintenance, but she does make coffee for you. So
our morning coffee ritual is really sort of, we usually come downstairs about the same time, and then it's a bit of a contest. Who gets to
the first cup of coffee? Yeah.
But if you go first, Helga might ask you to do some maintenance.
There's always required maintenance. Helga has a lot of needs.
If you get the first cup, you probably have to do some maintenance.
Oh yeah. You got to empty the drip tray.
So some might argue it's
better to be second.
Cup two.
But we do use awesome coffee beans every day. Not to I said today, nobody's paying me to say this, but I think the awesome coffee is really good. And then somebody pointed out that in fact I'm paying to say it because I paid to subscribe.
It's true. We do subscribe. What niche, internet corner do you wish you could be part of?
Oh, competitive Tetris, 100%. It's the most competitive NES original 1989 Tetris is the most like loving, supportive community outside of Nerdfighteria that I've ever encountered. It's so wholesome, it's so welcoming, and it really, like, in the same way that the early, like, we were talking about LeakyCon earlier, in the early days of the Harry Potter fandom, that was really a model for Hank and me about how to run a community or how to, like, shepherd a community in the early days of YouTube. I look at competitive Tetris now a lot for getting ideas for how to, like, be a good steward of Nerdfighteria.
So we're gonna switch back.
I love it. Let's veer.
We're
Yes.
grilled cheesing, and then we're going more serious. Laura asks, what did you do when you struggled the worst with mental health issues? Like, who were your support systems, and what did you do for self-care?
I mean, that question is situated in the past tense, and I always want to be careful not to assume that the worst of it is behind me. I assume that I'll have difficult times. I mean, I don't necessarily have the best coping mechanisms, to be honest with you. So, like, when I'm really sick, I'm just not a lot of fun to be around. I don't know. What's a good answer for that?
Who are your support systems?
And my best friends, Chris and Marina.
And your brother, your parents.
Yeah, so like when I was,
you also you go for stupid walks for your stupid mental health.
The two periods that were really, really bad were in 2001 and 2015, and during both those periods, I was really lucky to have people in my life who were really, really willing to work with me to get through it.
Yeah. Someone else asked to hear my answer as well. And
Yeah, somebody, I mean, therapy and take your medication.
Yeah.
Like I take my medicine. That's the
Yeah.
biggest thing.
who was it
Go to
who we
therapy.
said that the best thing you can do for your health in general is to take a walk every day with a friend
And talk about your
and
problems.
talk about your problems. That's a pretty surefire answer to most struggles for me.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do find like,
Any more Turtles All the Way Down updates in the works?
I don't have any videos coming out. I did just get a text from the producer.
What?
Well, I don't know if you followed the news, but HBO Max is in a bit of a kerfuffle of some kind at
They're
the
having
moment.
some troubles.
They're having some troubles. It's not very well understood from the outside. And Turtles All the Way Down is an HBO Max movie.
Yeah. So we'll see. But you know what? I want it to happen. Obviously, I want it to happen. But I keep struggling with
I think it's going to happen.
streaming this like broad streaming landscape that's not really working for anyone. And before it gets better,
yeah,
things are going to go down.
Oh, absolutely, Sarah. I'm 100% with you that the streaming landscape isn't great. I just want to delay that conversation until March of 2023.
Can't we just keep it bad through our own commitments?
Yeah. I think I think it'll be great, and I think it will come out.
Okay.
And I hope it will be in theaters, because that's where I would love for people to be able
Yeah,
to see it. That's
so-
where I would like to see it. So.
Brian asks, I've never traveled overseas. Due to your love of airport vlogs, what are some pro tips for worldly traveling these days?
I love taking time when you're in an airport to discover places. If you have the time, right? Like sometimes you're just like chapels. I don't do this when I'm with you really, but like if I'm alone, I'll just like walk around the airport and like try to find the arcade or the chapel or something that is a little unusual. I love
find the emptiest gate.
Find the quietest space. One thing Sarah and I do is we find the emptiest gate. And
yeah.
I don't want to brag, but I'm really good at finding the empty gate. Like Sarah's always like, what are we gonna do? And I'm like, we're gonna find an empty gate. She's
And
like, it's
sometimes you have to
Atlanta, it's
move around.
impossible. And
You
I'm
gotta
like,
move
I know
around.
how to get to
Yeah.
an empty gate. So yeah, that's my advice. And then
get pre-check if you can. Sometimes it doesn't matter.
make sure your phone is charged so
yeah.
that when you're sitting in line for 4 hours at the Charles de Gaulle airport. I will say we had a very stressful trip home from Paris, but I ran into a nerd
but
fighter.
we did get to go to Paris.
We did get to go to Paris, and I ran into a nerd fighter in the line, and I was like, maybe we just had to be in this 4-hour line so I could meet this nice
was a
person.
great moment. Yeah.
All airports have plugs now. That's true. It used to be just all about finding plugs, but now they all have plugs.
They do.
I like that question from Ariel. I'm turning 18 in 2 weeks and I don't feel like I've accomplished enough. How do I deal with feeling like a failure when I can't even do school stuff properly? Well, Ariel, I also struggled to do school stuff properly. I failed 11th grade English. I had to write a paper about the Tempest over the summer in order to get a high school diploma. And I remember vividly feeling like a failure. One of the reasons so I don't think you're a failure. And I think one of the reasons that young people often feel like failures is because the expectations that are built up around being a high school student are absurd.
Yes.
Like you're trying to get through a really difficult part of life and read The Tempest.
Yeah.
And like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So I would encourage you to remember that these pressures that you're put under, they're not totally fair all the time. And if you're kind of like doubling that pressure by then also, having that sort of self-reinforcing, I'm a failure because the world, tells me I'm a failure. And then you just feel worse and worse about yourself, and it becomes harder and harder to get things done. Like I know what it's like to be inside of that cycle, and I know how hard that is. But to me, the way to break out of it is to say, like, I'm a good person and I'm doing my best, and here's what my best might look like tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I was actually looking in the coloring book for this great quote from Lori. I hope you are making a difference for someone today.
For someone.
For someone.
For
So I
someone.
think like there's a lot of pressure to like accomplish things and like have the things that can go on your resume or, you know, have some sort of trail. But maybe it's a framework shift that maybe you can make yourself valuable to someone else.
Yeah. What can you do for someone?
Or tell,
today?
you know, on Esther Day, tell someone you love them.
Yeah, which is a gift. I mean, an incredible gift.
And that's an accomplishment.
It's during that 3 minutes, I like texted several friends and told them I love them. And then they wrote me back and said, I love you too. And I was like so surprised to receive that gift. It's lovely.
Haley asks, would you ever give a class on how to write books?
No, I don't know how to, Haley. I'd like to be able to teach a class on that because then I would know how to write books.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to write books. I spent all day today just feeling, not to go back to the previous question, just feeling like a massive failure because I don't know how to write books. So someday I would like to figure it out, Haley, but it feels to me like every time I'm writing a new book, it's a completely unprecedented experience. And I'm always like, God, I'm bad at this.
Yeah. Someone else asks, I'm a high school art student and I'm struggling with motivation to finish my products when they don't go right. Do you have any advice?
That's a question for you.
I think I like working on something else. I like sort of saying like, okay, this isn't going how I thought it would. Let's switch gears. Sometimes the artwork takes you in a direction you didn't plan, but it could be better. So don't discount that. Sometimes it's okay. And it could be even better. So even though it's not, it feels like a mistake, but sometimes you just got to call it and just be like, okay, I'm going to try a different approach. So that's what I do. Also, I give myself, and you definitely do this, give yourself some false deadlines.
Yeah.
Or you probably have real deadlines.
I was going to say,
too.
In high school, you have real deadlines. They're horrible.
But even, you know, say I'm going to work on this till 7 o'clock. And if it's still, you know, giving you trouble and you feel like it's not going in the right direction.
But it is good to give yourself a break and work on something else for a while. Like, yeah. I'm writing about tuberculosis as a break from writing about other things.
Yes. Favorite games to play with friends?
Euchre. This
Euchre.
is this uniquely Midwestern, not very complicated card game.
Yes, it's a little bit like spades.
It's like spades, but much easier.
Euchre's great.
I love that everybody in comments is spelling it correctly.
Yeah.
Our best friend has spelled it wrong her entire life, and we've never corrected her, and we never will. We think it's amazing.
Yeah. It's what she
spells
spells
it
it
Yuker, and like,
yeah,
it's gold.
Yeah. Tori asks, how do you create enough variety in your life to keep yourself from getting bored? I feel like every year I get suddenly burnt out with every aspect of my life, work, school, social life, and want to change it all. How do I get through this?
Don't you think that's kind of like that ended for me, not because I did anything, but because I like stopped being in my 20s. Like Vlogbrothers was that. I was like, I'm done with all this writing. Like I gotta have a project with Hank and these are the uploaded ones.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh wait, no, you're right. I was wrong. You were right. I'm sorry. You're right.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. You're absolutely right.
Okay.
Yeah, but there are so some people like there are nerd fighter communities outside of Vlogbrothers, like outside of Vlogbrothers comments, like on Discord and Facebook. Like there's a great adult nerd fighters group on Facebook, and there's lots of different Discord channels if you're a Discord person. Oh, look at that. Somebody has listed the online nerd fighter communities at nerdfighteria.com.
Let's see. How do you feel about Ryan Reynolds' soccer documentary?
Really good and a little jealous, to be honest with you. Like, so the reason I met Ryan Reynolds is that he called me about his soccer documentary, and I was like, oh my God, it's such a good idea. And then I saw I saw the trailer for it and I was like, oh my God, of course
So
it's even
exciting.
better in real
Yeah.
life than it was as an idea. And so I'm a little like,
You're jealous,
I'm jealous.
but that's okay.
But that's okay. I am really excited for it and for him, and I'm gonna watch every episode the day it comes out. And I just think it's gonna be amazing. I just desperately
it come
wish in a month, but
Maybe.
no, it's not on HBO
It's not
Max.
but
I desperately wish that somebody would do that for AFC Wimbledon.
yeah. Didn't you try to convince him to do it for Wimbledon?
I did. I
Yeah.
did. He was like, we're
Yeah.
going to do this show. And I was like, yeah, no, that sounds great. And he was like, I think we're going to pick a 5th tier team. They're a
You're
lot
like,
cheaper. And I was like, have you thought about a 3rd tier team that you can't own?
Weirdest ice cream flavor you've ever
Oh,
had?
Sarah's always bringing home weird ice creams.
I do. I
Like
love a weird ice cream.
Basil,
Corn.
corn.
There's a local Indianapolis ice cream place called Lick that makes a sweet corn ice cream. It's delicious.
Disgusting.
It's delicious.
You just want to have chocolate ice cream.
I've only seen one ice cream in the freezer at a store that I would not try, and that's Van Leeuwen's Grey Poupon ice cream. Ugh. Just can't do it.
All right, we only have time for a couple more questions.
Do you want to pick them?
Sure.
Okay.
Is that a sculpture of an upside down bug behind you?
Oh, it's a katydid.
Kind of. You're on the right track.
Alice made this for school,
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah, she had a project where she became a
It's pretty
katydid.
great.
And as
Yeah.
part of the project, she also made a katydid.
Yes, I think
So
it's
yeah,
quite good.
it's very good. We don't like to brag, but obviously she's a genius.
Yeah. Extraordinary.
Good last question. Do you have any advice for somebody newly diagnosed with OCD? Well, I'm glad you have a diagnosis and I'm sorry that you have OCD. But I think
But a diagnosis is a lot.
I think it's easier to
helpful.
live with once you have a diagnosis. You understand a little bit about what's going on. And 2 things I'd recommend is, one, I'd recommend reading this book, The Man Who Couldn't Stop by David Adam. It's about OCD and he has OCD, and it gives you some historical overview about it, which I found helpful, really helpful when I got diagnosed. And then the other thing,
It's helpful for family and friends to know more about it too, to better
Yeah.
understand you.
not as helpful as Turtles All the Way Down.
Of course.
It actually is much more helpful. And then the other thing is the great thing about OCD, there's nothing to recommend it, but the great thing about it is that it is treatable in almost all cases. It responds to medication and therapy better than most mental illnesses. And so pursue treatment aggressively and follow the treatment regimen.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're out of time.
Are we?
Well, I
Yeah.
think we have to turn it back over to Lori and
Yes, we
Wayne
do.
for the big finale.
I don't know if anybody wants you to turn it back to going on to question Thursday.
If we keep staying on, I saw Catherine had made a comment that she participated in an art scavenger hunt in a airport.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that the Mountain Goats are having a concert in Boston. So
Right.
Also very exciting. I
thank
recommend it.
you. Thank you, John. Thank you. Yeah, we took Esther to
Sarah.
a mount. Well, I didn't forget her name was Sarah. I just got distracted.
Well,
It's really easy to distract me. Just snap your fingers.
I always think of you, Sarah, as the Yeti, that's because I'm early in Nerdfighteria and
Yeah.
Esther's, these 2 brothers are on and they're talking to each other and they're like 30 years old. I said, I don't think so. I don't think this is gonna work.
Yeah, a little creepy.
And there was the Yeti that kind of, had an elbow in and different things and
That's right.
it really exists.
Did she really exist?
Had to make my presence
It's
known.
real.
Yeah.
Oh, it is amazing. Well, thank you
Real.
so much for giving time. I know that there were lots and lots of questions there, and some of those you'll have to hold those questions till next Esther Day, I guess.
And we love Nerdfighteria. Yeah, we're nerd fighters all the way.
Well, fortunately, there are some station, they're like Facebook has an old Nerd Fighters group and,
Mhm,
you know, so there's room for everyone.
That's right.
Yeah, old nerd fighters.
Oh.
Like us.
Like, yeah.
Old, yeah,
You're gonna
yeah,
do
we're in the end of it.
But thank you so much for including us in this.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you.
And
We
I
are
love,
so
I
glad.
love the artwork too, just.
Oh, thanks.
Did you show your picture?
Oh, many times, yeah,
Oh.
many times. I'm a doodler, you know, that's what I do.
Yeah, napkins with funny faces all over them and
Yeah.
stuff. That's his
They're
kind of
worth,
thing.
they're gonna be worth something someday.
Well, we
Those
saved
two,
some of them,
we
so.
saved them. Yeah, and then I use them as Kleenex, so it's good. Always, don't waste anything. Well, and we're getting close to the end, and in a second, Lori's gonna thank folks, thank everybody, but I did want to say something to the group. You know, when we did Esther's book, we you know, we didn't know who to dedicate it to. And so, you know, the dedication page, to all who long to live fully and love deeply, no matter the obstacle or length of days. And then in the acknowledgement page, who do you dedicate a book to? It's not your book, it's her book. So in the acknowledgement page, we acknowledge the wonderful editor and John, of course, and all of those folks and our own kids. But we wrote in the back of the book, Lori and I collaborated and said, we'd like to acknowledge that this is Esther's book. As her parents, we get to add our names to it, which we're happy to do. Our greatest wish, talking about wishes, right? When you wish upon a star, is that you, the reader, will walk away with a deeper appreciation for the mystery of life and the hope that comes with loving. And Esther modeled that. And, you know, life is serious and there's so much suffering and so many obstacles and so many challenges. Just yesterday, I was with Graham, Esther's little brother, who's 26. Can you believe it? He's got like a mountain man beard. Oh, I had it shaved recently, but the man is just an animal and just a lovely young man. And he and I said, Graham, let's just go to a movie. He wanted to go to a movie. I said, let's go to something where you don't have to think about it. Let's go see Thor, the new Thor movie, you know, mindless, you know, movie. Okay, well, Taika Waititi or Watiki is very subversive, and that movie is serious. No spoilers, but you've got some serious themes about meaning, about pain, about disease, about losing faith and hope. And I just sobbing. I'm sitting there thinking, these people are watching this movie and I'm crying and laughing too. Good movie, good plug for the movie. But it did make me think that when Esther was dying, this is the last place the last room she was in, the last night of her life. This was her bedroom where we sit now. Changed it into a bedroom. One of the last things she said was, I'm going. And we said, where are you going? And she said, I'm just dreaming. We're all just dreaming. We're all just dreaming of a better world. We're all yearning for meaning. We're all trying to be brave, like the scientist Jane Foster, like the gods, like God. Our values and our ideals are being challenged. We're looking at purpose and wondering how we can get through that. Life shouldn't be a nightmare. A dream, you should help dreams come true. So Esther Day to me is just a reminder of that, you know, that we're meant to be our siblings' keepers, that we're meant to encourage one another. And I'm so inspired by the art. Art is visual and written and doodles and painting and auditory and music. Esther's other brother, Abe, is a rapper, you know, and he's got some strong themes and some interesting language. But I encourage you to look it up. Look up his stuff. He's really gifted and he's speaking from his heart and finding his way into young adulthood. He's almost 19 in a couple of weeks. And our kids are doing well. You think about art and how important it is. And I encourage you to keep digging into it, keep drawing, keep writing, keep birthing things. Things want to be born through you. And the animals, oh my goodness, nothing better than animals to find out what really matters. Animals are people too, right? Animals are people too.
They love.
And they love, and they give love, and they are beautiful, beautiful creatures. So we thank you, Jesse, for that, and all of the advice, frivolous and very serious that Sarah and John have given us tonight. Just a reminder that life is worth living. That Thor movie, I came out of it saying, oh my goodness, that was about faith, hope, and love. And love is the greatest thing. Wow. Okay. What a subversive thing, huh? To have that in a movie or in a book. So be a light, be a blessing, be a gift. DFTBA.
Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
shine brightly.
Thank you for letting me do my little sermon here.
Oh, you do good sermons.
Mhm.
You do good sermons. Esther loved to listen to you. You guys had great
That's
conversations.
true. Esther did like, and I
She
was her
his biggest
favorite.
fan.
Let's just get that right. Yeah, I was her
You were her
favorite.
favorite dad.
Yeah, all my kids are equal, but I was her favorite. All right. So
I'm glad
we
that you
gotta say
mentioned,
thank
I'm
you.
glad that you mentioned our children. We're
We got-
saying thank
we-
you, and we have 4 beautiful children that either live near us or with us or
Yeah.
in California.
The only people that are more beautiful than our kids are our
Grandchildren.
grandbabies.
We have 2 amazing
Aya,
grandchildren,
Ori.
Oren and
They're out there.
Aya. And so, when we talk about saying I love you and leaving a legacy and caring about other people and making sure that people know how much they matter to us, that's that you get this reminder every year. If you forget sometimes with all of the mess and all of the stuff that happens, remember on Esther Day that it's the day you can say I love you, and you have a free pass. So I want to say also thank you to Michelle Vanderhood. She's the director for Team Awesome, and which raises money for This Star Won't Go Out through athletic events. And she put this whole thing together, did all the
they-
planning. Michelle, you should
They
pop
should
on.
pop on
As I
again.
call your names, you guys
We
should.
want to see
And Michelle has been amazing, and she just
Yeah,
came back from
absolutely.
LeakyCon
Team
down in
Awesome.
Orlando.
Team Awesome.
And also we want to thank our moderators, Max,
Max.
and
Max is an old young friend of Esther's, and we love Max.
Abby,
We love Max.
who you might know from P4A. Thank you, Max. And who else do I need to say thank you for?
Well, the untapped
Well,
Inkwell,
So
Abby. right?
Abby's there.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. There she is. Oh
Well,
my
and we want to
gosh.
say thank you to
Hi there, Alice Grace.
we want to say thank you to our Montana animal friend, who hopefully is still here, and if not, maybe she's
Oh,
taking care of the animals.
Yeah, maybe that fox got away.
Maybe, no, I hope not. And
Oh,
there
there
we
she is.
are.
There
There
she
she
is.
is.
It's still sunny out there.
You guys can
Oh
stay
my
on too
gosh.
if you want. And John, who do you have with you? And Sarah.
This is
Hi,
Alice.
Can you say hello?
Hi,
How are
Alice.
you?
Oh my gosh.
Can you say
Alice
happy
is just
yesterday?
back from 2 weeks at camp.
Oh,
Amazing.
Yeah.
Did you, what did you like best?
Horseback riding.
ooh, that is so
I love
cool.
horseback riding.
Equestrian. My
If
goodness.
I remember doing horseback riding for some months, and I would go to bed at night and I would
Feel like it.
dream I was riding a
Yeah,
horse.
yeah.
And so if that happens to you, you'll know that
That is
you're
so
not
cool.
alone in that happening. So thank you.
That's so
And
great. Is that what you want to be when you grow up? Is a
You can be an
equestrian
equestrian?
rider?
Probably not.
No.
No,
but a
can be a
great
doctor.
pastime, a great pastime.
we don't know.
We don't know yet.
Yeah,
Too early.
You have Alice, your hair has grown so much longer since
My
the last time I
goodness.
saw you.
Yeah, it's like
It's
Rapunzel. It's like
amazing.
Rapunzel.
It's so
You
thick.
Yeah, she's got mommy's bangs too.
But daddy's volume.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's, you know what?
Good.
We take away pieces from our parents until finally with no hair and wrinkles and everything else. So that's the way it
Yeah,
goes. Well,
yeah.
it has been a wonderful evening. Thank you, everyone who came. People are saying
Yes.
hi, Alice, in the chat,
Yeah, everybody's saying hello.
and talking about the
Yeah,
puff. And people are saying thank you.
that
Puff
is-
bright like a diamond, says David Green.
So Alice, do you have a nickname like Al or or
No.
Elise or no?
No, not yet. We're
Okay,
just,
no
we're just
nicknames. All right, we don't.
We
no
like
nickname.
Alice.
We like Alice.
Alice is great, a great name.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I want to say, give a gift, receive love,
Mhm.
and be a gift.
And be a
Right.
gift.
So
And
I'm sure that
you
Alice
do
is
that,
already doing that.
right, this right here, right? Oh,
What's that?
Can you do
Yeah.
that?
D,
Oh.
D, A, right?
DFTBA.
DFTBA.
Yay, DFTBA.
We'll work on that.
We love you
Um,
all. Happy yesterday.
Happy yesterday.
Day, everyone.
Yesterday to you. Happy yesterday, everyone.
Yes,
DFTBA.
yes. Thank you for taking the time.
Yep.
We
And
love
go
you.
and be a light and pass on the love.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So
And you don't have to wait till yesterday to say I love you.
no, make it a habit.
Yep.
And as John said, it gets easier and easier. So
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
Alice, sending love to you and your
Yeah.
family. And do you
Right.
love your little brother?
Big brother.
Big brother. Oh my
Big
gosh,
brother.
you're so big now that I'm.
She wishes. She wishes.
Don't tell him I said that. He'd be
Yeah,
really
love
mad.
he's
your
gonna be
brother.
like 19 now, isn't he? Something like
No.
that.
Oh, he's still at camp.
Yeah, he's
so
still at
she-
camp, so we're missing him.
Oh,
She's
so you get
ready.
mom and dad for a couple days. That's
Aw.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah. She
Yeah.
wants him
Thank
back, right?
you. Thanks for stopping in to say hi. We appreciate
All right.
Okay.
it.
DFTBA.
All right, everyone.
All right.
Love you all. Bye. Time
everyone.
is fake.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Michelle. Sorry we're
Yeah.
not there in Chicago with you or that you're here
All
with us
right.
in Boston. We're here because, thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Remember, this is recorded, so. you
Oh,
can watch
yes,
it
we'll
later.
share the link later.
Yeah, yeah.